The Saurus warriors stood back to back. They had awoken to find themselves in some sort of strange theatre or arena, chained by magical bonds to an altar within its centre. Slowly, as Haish became ascendant above the realm, hundreds, if not thousands of mortals crammed themselves into what appeared to be seating all around the structure. The gladiators of the Daughters of Cain made their way out to their adoring fans in the arena. A special treat had been brought in for them today. In front of them, ancient Seraphon warriors bound by magic awaited the slaughter to come. As the mages of the Umbranef lifted their binding spells upon their captives, battle was joined in Warhammer Underworlds Emberguard. In today's game, we're going to be playing a Warhammer Underworlds Rivals format game. Now, in the Rivals format, players pick a pre-built 32 card deck known as a Rivals deck. A player's Rival deck is made from cards that only feature that deck's unique symbol denoted in the top right-hand corner of each card, which means if you have at least one Rivals deck and one Warband from the list below if you're going to a competitive scene, or you can use pretty much anything you want in a less organised setting, you have everything you need to join in with this format. In today's game, I'm going to be playing with Gryselle's Arenai. For my warband today, I've chosen to go with the Grand Alliance Crusaders abilities. This gives me the Inspire condition where immediately after a power step, if my warband holds 2 or more treasure tokens in enemy territory, I inspire each friendly fighter. And the Pioneer's ability means immediately after a friendly fighter finishes a move within a 1 hex of a treasure token, I can push them 1 hex so they have to end on the treasure token. I get some cool once per game abilities like Staunch Defender where I can boost my save characteristic. Zealous Resolve means I can, until the end of the turn, can't be driven or pushed back, and Reclaim Ground means, and when I use this in a power step, I pick a friendly fighter until the next turn. Melee attack rolls of that fighter always count as having more crits. For Gryselle's Arenai, I have a bunch of fighters that have some decent defensive abilities. Most of my fighters have 2 dodge, all bar Thraxia, who has a single shield as defense. I've got a decent amount of damage coming out of some of the fighters, with a lot of fighters having 2 damage on their attacks, or rolling lots of dice for their attacks, which is really nice. I'm also relatively fast with 4 hex move on everyone, though Kralexis has a move of 5 hexes. When they do Inspire, I gain Grievous and a bunch of other abilities like Cleave on them as well, but I've also got some damage increases on fighters like Thraxia as well. For our deck today, we're playing with Realmstone Raiders. Now this has a plot for it where while using this rival deck, immediately after the first successful friendly melee attack action in the attack step, you can raid a number of times equal to the bounty characteristic of the target. What the raid does is you reveal the top card of your power deck if that card is now raided. If that card is an Emberstone card, you can put that card back on top of your deck or on the bottom of your power deck. Emberstone cards have the following additional rules where Emberstone ploys and Emberstone upgrades can be used immediately for no cost, though you do require the amount of glory to upgrade your fighters still. And here we have the card listing for the deck as well. A lot of these cards will be Emberstone ploys and Emberstone upgrades to make the deck work how it should. Stephen is playing with the Jaws of Itzl in today's game. The Jaws of Itzl have the Inspire condition where after inflicting damage on an enemy fighter in an opponent's power step or action step, you can pick a friendly fighter and then inspire that fighter. Now, this is easily done with predatory fighters where if they make a successful defense roll that includes a shield, they can inflict 1 damage back on the enemy fighter. So a great easy way to sort of get their defensive benefits up and their Inspire condition. They've got some cool rules where they can move around their minion after some of their fighters activate. Savage Mauling is a great way to sort of take a enemy down when you've taken some heavy damage yourself, and Obstinate as well means a friendly Saurus that cannot be driven back until the end of the battle round. A lot of these aren't once per use per game though. Fighter wise for the Warband, Krojax is a really solid lead with 5 health, a defense 1, 3 move and a 3 damage attack as standard. You do have 5 health on your other 2 Saurus as well with that 1 defense there as well, though their attacks are only 2 damage, but Rotak does have some range in there as well. And Sotek's Venomite is a nice little fast moving piece you've got around to give yourself an extra fighter to complete some objectives with. When they do Inspire, you get more dice on your attack rolls, and you also get some boosted defense on Krojax as well, which is really nice. And it's really nice to see just, increasing of that damage potential at least on the cards. Deck-wise, he is using the Emberstone Sentinels Rivals deck. This is a pretty simple take and hold deck with a bunch of objectives based around holding objectives, like the whole treasure token objectives, and you've also got ploys and upgrades that will base around keeping your fighters in the fight for longer. Alright, so we are all deployed on the board. So, for Gryselle's arena down at the bottom here, I've got Calexis. We then have Gryselle at the back with both Trixia and the Thralia in front, and Retaria over to the side, but in the middle. For the Jaws of Itzl, you've got Krojax at the front with Sotek's Venomites behind him, and then you've got Sokar and Rotak on the other side of the table. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. And so we are going to go for the roll-off for priority for the round one. For the elves, I've got the support, you've got the hammer, so you're going to get to choose who goes first. Alright, so Stephen has elected to go first, and you're going to be going with Rotak first of all.
Yep.
And just making a move.
Yep.
No, Stephen's going to instead make a move off to the flank there on the left. After that, I'm then going to play Intoxicated with Rage, so I can pick a friendly fighter that has no move or charge tokens and give them a guard token. And so I'll be giving that there to Traxia. Alrighty, so next up, I'm going to make a charge super action, and we're going to do that with Retaria. So this is the move part here, finishing here of my charge with my move. However, due to Pioneers, after I finish a move, I can, if I'm within a hex of a treasure token, push my fighter 1 hex, have to end on that treasure token, so I will. And then I'll get to make my attack into Sokar. And so Retaria does require hammers. Now she does have cleave on her attack. That'll be 1 success. That will not be a thing, so that'll be 2 points of damage. And so because that is a successful attack, I will now get to draw the first, which is an Emberstone Ploy. So I can pick a friendly fighter in neutral or enemy territory and push that fighter 1 hex. Ooh. I don't want to actually do this. So choosing not to do that, I then draw another, and it's not a Emberstone card. And so that will be my first action done. And so after that, I'm then going to use my once per game ability of Staunch Defender. This means I have a safe characteristic of 3 dodge on a fighter of my choosing. And that fighter has to be holding treasure, so that'll obviously be on Retaria. You're then going to play Sidestep, so allowing you to push a fighter 1 hex, and you're just going to push Sokar out of combat there. And so your second action, is going to be Krojax making a move onto objective number 1 there.
Yep.
And so my next activation is going to be with Traxia, and she's going to make a move. So we move on to the power step. Now, because at the end of a power step, because I hold 2 objectives in enemy territory, my entire warband of Crusaders will now inspire. And so we go over to the Jaws of Itzl for their 3rd activation for the round. Be Sokar.
3.
Making a move up. Just changing the end square that he positioned in there, going to end there. I'm then going to make a charge super action with Gryselle. So Gryselle will move into Sokar there, so we're going to make an attack roll. And so 3 dice from Gryselle. We are needing hammers, and we have crit Grievous. So that is 3 successes with the crit, giving us Grievous. We do, so that means I can push and follow up, because I've got 2 crits. And that will kill Sokar. I can follow up from that. So Gryselle will follow up into the square as well. She then gets a Realmstone Raid. So the first one is not a Realmstone card, and the second one is not a Realmstone card. And so over to the last activation for the Jaws of Itzl this round.
1, 2, 3.
Sotek's Venomites just move up onto the objective there. And so that'll end the turn for Stephen. So it'll be the last activation for the Gryselle's Arenai. And so we'll make a charged super action with Colexis into the back of Crojax there. And so we are needing cross swords. Nothing. So do you get a successful punch back? You do, and do a point of damage back to me.
Yep.
Which means Crojax will inspire. And so that'll be the end of round 1. I've got no objectives to score in the end phase. So just before we do end the turn though, you will score step by step. So you score this immediately after your opponent's action step. If a friendly fighter with any move tokens holds a treasure token in enemy territory. Then we go into the end step where you will score slow advance. You score the end phase if your warband holds any treasure tokens in both neutral and enemy territory, which you do. And so at the end phase as well, you're going to play in Violet. This is going to be going on Crojax, stopping him being flanked or surrounded. And so we will go into priority. I am the underdog with Gryselle because it's 3-2. I got a hammer. You got a hammer, so I'll break ties and I'll be taking the action. I'm going to be starting with a charged super action with Gryselle, who's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And so Gryselle has 3 dice. She needs hammers with Crit Grievous. That's 2 successes. That is not so. It'll be 2 points of damage on Rotak. And then we will get to Emberstone Raid. So the first is going to be Reforged Aid immediately. So this is an upgrade. I'll be playing that on Gryselle straight away. And the second card is an upgrade that is not an Emberstone one. So on the bottom of the deck it goes. I will score a sure bet. I score this immediately after raiding an Emberstone card after melee attack that contains 3 or more attack dice. And then I'm going to play Great Fortitude after that. And this is going to go on Gryselle. You're then going to play Agile as well, and this is going on Rotak. So over to your first action with the Jaws of Itzl. You're just going to make a move with Rotak there. Yep, importantly, not a charge, just a move, so no attack coming after this. You're then going to play switch things up. You can pick 2 treasure tokens and swap their positions. So 3 swapping with 1 there. And so we end like that. My second action will then be a charge with Retaria. Charging into Rotak there. So 3 dice needing hammers. 1 success. You're not successful in defense. That will allow me to Emberstone search. The first one is an Emberstone upgrade, of which I do not have enough points to do, but I do still search it. And then the second one is not an Emberstone card. And so that'll be your turn.
Yep.
And before we go into Steven's next activation though, he's going to now activate Savage Mauling. Using Rotak, 4 dice. And each cross swords or crit will be a point of damage.
A single point.
Yep. And so now we go into Steven's second activation for the round.
Yep.
Making a move with Sotek's Venomites.
That's fine.
And you're going to score careful advance from that because you score immediately after a friendly fighter moves if 2 or more fighters have move tokens and are in enemy territory. And so over to me, I'm going to make an attack roll now with Colexis. And so we need cross swords. We are Crit Grievous as well. So 3 successes. We are definitely getting extra damage. You got 1. So that will allow me to push and follow up. And so that'll be 2 points of damage on Crojax. And then I can Realmstone Raid. So can't play this one, but there is 1 card Realmstone raided. And second one is another Emberstone card. So I can pick an objective card from your hand, put it on the bottom of my objective deck, then draw 1 objective card. So I'll do that. And I get to do 1 more, which is another Emberstone card. And I can pick a friendly fighter holding a treasure token in friendly territory. Don't have any holding them in friendly territory. Oh wait, no, that is in friendly territory. That's not no man's land. That does not have any move, charge, or stagger tokens. I don't have any of them. I can raid a number of cards equal to that fighter's bounty. And so I can raid 2 more or 1? 1. And that is Hidden Knowledge. I can pick an enemy fighter adjacent to a friendly fighter and give that fighter a move token. So I'll give a move token to Crojax. And from that, I will score Looted Realmstone. I score this immediately after raiding 2 or more different Emberstone cards from the same melee attack. I will play the upgrade Call to Power. This is going to go on Thalia. And so we go into... I'm going to use my Zealous Resolve ability during the power step as well. So until the end of the next turn, friendly fighters can't be driven back or pushed. So you have to kill me. And so your next attack is just going to be Crojax making an attack roll.
Yep.
At, who is it? That's Plexus. Go for it.
Cross swords.
So 2 successes. One being a crit. I've got 2 dodge. That's 2 shields, so that's not.
3 damage.
That'll kill me. And then you can follow up because you got more crits. And so my last action for the round is going to be going with Thalia. Thalia will make a charge into Rotak. And so I need cross swords, though I am supported here. So I'll get supports as well. That'll be 1 success. That is a successful defense roll.
And I get to...
And that'll punch a point of damage back, which means Rotak will inspire from that. So your last action...
1, 2, 3.
...is just moving it back on the objective there.
Yep.
So that'll be the end of the round. So Stephen, first of all, we're scoring hold treasure token 3 or 4. Do you hold 3 there? And then you'll also score supremacy because you do have 2 fighters holding objectives with a total of 3 or more. Despite that being 0, he's 3. And then you do hold treasure token 1 or 2 as well. And so I am going to score Emberstone Stash. I scored this in the end phase. If I raided 4 or more different Emberstone cards this round, I certainly did. Thank you all for watching today's video. If you'd like to help the channel grow some more, why not consider joining up to our YouTube members? This important feature here allows us to continue to produce more and more content of the various games you like to see on the channel. It also allows you to put in requests and ask what you would like to see more of on the channel in the future. And so we go into priority for the next round. So priority, I've got a double support, so unless you roll that, you're going to get the choice. And so the Jaws of Itzl will take the turn. And so you're going to start with a charge with Crojax.
Yep.
Going into Thalia. And so 4 attacks requiring cross swords. You are supported here. So 2 successes. I've got 2 dodge. I got a crit. That's not enough. That'll be 3 damage.
Yep.
And it'll take Thalia out. So after you do that, I'm going to play a card called Misstep. I can pick 1 enemy fighter and stagger them. I'm going to be picking Crojax. No, I'm going to be picking Rotak. You're then going to play a Duelist. Who's this going on?
Rotak.
I'm going on Rotak. I'm also going to play Kenai. This is going to be going on Gryselle. So for my first action for the round, Gryselle's going to make a charge. Gryselle goes in there. And so I need hammers with Gryselle, crit Grievous, and I'm supported. So no crit though, but that is 3 hammers, so 3 successes. That won't, that will be... Yeah, Agile though does let you re-roll it. Let's see what you can get. No, same result. That is 2 damage into Rotak. And that will take him down. Damn. Worth noting, my 1 fail there, I will get to reroll because you were staggered, so gets another hammer. And so we'll now go for an Emberstone raid. First one is an Emberstone. Step ahead, pick a friendly fighter in neutral or enemy territory and push that fighter 1 hex. We'll push them. Then the second one is not. So your second activation for the round.
Charging.
Yep, charging into Gryselle with Sotek Venomites.
Yep.
And so needing cross swords with the Venomites. You got 1. Gryselle is currently on a 2 dodge. That stops it. I'm then going to make a charge super action with Retaria. Charge to there. And so we are needing hammers. That'll be that and a crit. Shields cannot be used, so you must get crits. These need to both be crits. They are not, so that will be 2 more points of damage on him. And I will get to Realmstone Raid.
This is last round, isn't it?
Yeah. First one, I don't. Second one is not a Realmstone card. Third one, it's not a Realmstone card. Stephen will then score Sally 4, where he scores this immediately after my action. Friendly fighter with any charge tokens holds a treasure token in enemy territory, and the Venomites do. Just making 8 moves then with Crow Jacks, as everyone on your side has a charge token, so you got the basic moves, no super actions though. I'm then going to make a charge super action next. So 3 dice needing hammers from Trexia. 1 success. No, nothing. That'll be 2 points of damage on him. And that'll take the big boy down. And so we will go for Realmstone rating. I've got 1 here. I don't have that. And I got a second one. So unfortunately, even with those raids, that will give me absolutely nothing due to the objectives I'm holding. And so you're going to go with the Venomites.
I only do 1 damage. It's my last turn. So
might as well just do the...
I'm going to attempt to attack just for laughs.
Yeah.
I need cross swords. Nothing.
And so, literally my turn, I'm just gonna move someone because it doesn't actually matter what I do. Even if I kill you, you're worth 0 glory. I can't Realmstone raid for it, so it doesn't do anything for me. So we go into the end phase. What we'll do with that is I'll discard the 2 objectives I can't score and see if I can draw some to score in the end phase. Unfortunately, that didn't yield anything, so I've just got the 1 here where Realmstone Raid, I scored as the end phase if I raided 3 or more times with different friendly fighters, and I did. All 3 of my fighters on the table there all raided this round. And Stephen will score Iron Grasp, where he scores the end phase if your Warband holds all the treasure tokens in friendly and or enemy territory, and it's the only one in enemy territory. Thank you all for watching. We hope this battle report was enjoyable for you, and if you did enjoy it, please go check out some of our others in the playlist on the channel. If you have any questions, please drop a comment down below, and while you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all of our future wargaming content. Thank you all.